Yo, what up, man? Chris, somebody checking back in, man, back with a blog, man. Make sure that like button and subscribe button your way, and I appreciate all the support. Salute to everybody out there. Hope you guys is having, what's today? Saturday. Hope you guys is having a good weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful day in Atlanta. So, I'm actually gotta head to, New York tomorrow. So, nigga gonna be back on the road. But, I gotta talk about this Eazy card that just dropped. But before I get to that, let me say something. I see a couple things that was in my comment section about Geechi. I just want to add to it real quick. A lot of people felt like Geechi kind of like, you know, was out of character, kind of like going at A-Dub and kind of like addressing so much of this stuff. And like, you know, hey, if you're not a snitch, just let it go and don't address nothing. I just want to say, man, that if you are not someone that I guess is trolled a lot, I guess internet bullied a lot, if you're not, you know, constantly people are in your YouTube comments and mentions discussing X, Y, and Z, it's easy from the outside looking in to be like, oh, just ignore it. Yeah, that's easy for some people to say because they're not ever the ones being trolled, or they're not ever the ones being messed with or whatever. You know, I don't really know much about Geechi's background other than he's a Crip or whatever. I don't know any of his upbringing. He kind of came into battle rap and blew up when I was locked up. So I didn't really see his growth. When I came out, the nigga was champion of the year. So that's kind of like where I saw him. But obviously the snitch thing is like the worst thing you can be when you are a gang member or whatever. It's the worst thing you can have when you're in jail too, is like that tag on you. So I can understand him not want to have that on his name, definitely. And just to be honest, I just feel like somebody can say something and it cannot even really have a lot of proof, or because I saw a lot of people saying, oh man, if you're not a snitch, just prove it. It's just like, yo, you want to put a tag on me and I'm supposed to prove it also. Like, how the fuck do you prove a negative or whatever? Just show the paperwork. Just show this. Just do this. And my thing is, you know, I kind of thought that the person that was making the accusation is the person that's supposed to prove something. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to make an accusation. But I do understand you got these weirdo bloggers and they will make a million blogs about you and half of them are lying. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of these blogs. And at the end of the day, it's a cult following. There's a lot of followers in battle rap. People hear stuff, listen to stuff, a whole lot of different things. And they take those comments and then they bring them to you. And I could see up Geechi Gotti's timeline. People are constantly talking about, oh, just show the paperwork, you know, or feel like he was a snitch or whatever, just off based on what someone says. Then he has his own YouTube channel. He's trying to sell merch. He's trying to do battles. He got 40 bars coming up in there. So I could understand why, you know, it could be annoying. Definitely could be annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I kind of tell you that very few people in this culture know what it's like to be the algorithm for the day. I know what it's like to be the algorithm. I dealt with it with the case. I dealt with it with 2 Doors Down. I dealt with all that stuff of where I wake up. And no matter what you post on Twitter, no matter what video you put out, everybody is asking you, but what about this? But what about this? You ain't addressed this though. You ain't addressed this. And some stuff you don't even be wanting to address. It's like, I'm just addressing a lot. Like, I don't even feel like turning the camera on for that shit. So, but I do understand, like, I had to deal with it. Eazy's had to deal with it with the whole Rim and Papoose punch and all that. And Geechi had to deal with it. And it didn't help that he got into it with Verb, because that just turned up even more and just put more of the spotlight on what he got going on. So do I feel like he could have like probably like toned down a little bit at the end of the day? Yeah, because I feel like sometimes people just, you give people life just off a response. That's why sometimes if you don't really have a big following, I'm not probably going to respond to you half the time. So because I realize you give a lot of people life, and my one blog is just going to make you do 8 blogs. So at the end of the day, like, you just going to, like, what I'm supposed to do, I don't have the time to do as many blogs as you got. I got real shit going on. These niggas do 3-hour lives. Like, who the hell has time to sit in front of a computer for 2 hours and talk about one topic? Like, once I tell you such and such is a snitch, or once I tell you that this person did this, or once I tell you, oh, I was at an event and I saw so-and-so get beat up, I don't need 2 hours to tell you that. So the fact that these dudes could be live for so long, and then you look at another video and it's like they were live 16 hours ago for another 90 minutes. I'm like, bro, y'all don't have shit going on to even be talking about another person this long. But I just want to make sure I reiterate, man, when you don't go through stuff, you don't know what it's like for somebody to always be tagging you and tagging you and tagging you to everything. Like, that shit can be annoying. And if your business is doing, you know, stuff out in the open or public or social media, you get on social media and everybody want to ask you about this shit. And they don't even allow you to have a normal life until you address it. So I just want to say that because it's easier said than done by telling people, oh, don't worry about it. If you're not a snitch, just ignore it. It's hard to ignore if a nigga is running up fucking 8,000 views on you and telling a lie, and then he got everybody asking you about it. You know what I'm saying? People just ask you about it over and over again, and that stuff happens. And don't let the other bloggers get into it. You know what I'm saying? Don't have three or four weirdo bloggers Voltroning up to talk about the same topic. That's pretty much what happened, and it can get annoying. So I just want to say that out there. I feel like Geechi probably could have chilled a day or two before. I'm gonna be real with you. I actually think he should have not even told Verb that it was gonna be an issue in Dallas. I mean, not Dallas, but Houston. I would have told Verb, like, yo, keep my name out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ain't a street nigga. That's what they make sidewalks for. I would have kept it like that. Like, don't jump in shit that don't concern you. I would have kept it kind of neutral. If Verb would have kept on, like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? And I do it the way I want it. If Verb would have kept on, bro, if Verb would have kept on, he would have just saw me in Houston, and I would have just went across his chin, like I said, like I'm thinking I was going to do, instead of typing it and telling them or saying it in a blog. So he kind of would have just been blindsided. He probably would have not have heard from me at all. I would have showed up to Houston. He might have thought shit was sweet between us, or that I don't have no problem with him. And then I would have just addressed him or checked him or went across his chin or fought him or whatever I would have done, it would have happened right then, because a lot of stuff Verb be talking about, he don't really be doing with showing up with security and all that kind of stuff. A lot of, like, if anybody knows anything about real security, dog, like, that shit is very expensive. So nobody's paying a back end to bring full-time police officers, and like, that shit costs a lot of money, bro. Like, he's not a celebrity, so you're not gonna be spending money doing that stuff, especially when you look at the car, and the car makes it look like everybody cool. So I would have just showed up, and Verb would have just saw how real it was when I showed up. Geechi got too much into the talking. I get it. Buster's getting no air, but he got too much into talking. Enough about that. Eazy the block captain, man. Shout out to Eazy. He got a crazy card. Trenches. Pray for my enemies. Eazy the block captain versus Swamp. We finally getting the battle that we want to see. A lot of y'all been saying, yo, he isn't battling any new niggas, any people in his class. A lot of the new niggas, dog, are locked down by URL. If I'm beefing with URL, I can't even battle a new nigga. Well, what do you think happened? What would you think would happen if this flyer dropped and it was Eazy the block captain versus Real Sick? Man, URL have been to snatch that nigga off that card. So you can't even trust booking a new person who battles on URL, because URL would just block it. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of low key hearing that they might be on some funny ish even with this card, to keep it real with you. So, but Eazy the block captain versus Swamp is going down. I don't see Swamp backing out of the battle, so it will go down. It'd be way too much backlash. He back out of this, but Eazy is battling a nigga that was third on champion. You know what I'm saying? Third on Cody. So we done saw him battle Suge and the Goods and the Calico and the Verb and the Rex and the Shine. He's battling a nigga that's hungry and third on Cody. He's in this battle is in May 4th in Philadelphia. So a home game for Eazy, but Swamp got to show up and do his thing. We'll do predictions later. I'm just going over the card. Rosenberg, Raw, and True Foe. This is I like this battle. Shout out to True Foe. Just battled A-Ward in a good battle. The battle could be 2-1 either way. Rosenberg, Raw, the podcaster. You know, I love raw battles. So at the end of the day, I expect this to be one of the better battles on the card. And I think it's a dope matchup. It's good to see that Eazy didn't hold no grudge with Raw over their whole little bickering and argument, and he got Raw on the card. Coffee versus Bonnie. I don't know if you know that they had a little back and forth in Spaces. So it's like they had a back and forth on Spaces, and now the battle is happening. I think that's actually kind of dope that people can argue in Spaces and it actually lead to a battle. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give Eazy credit for that. He probably saw like, damn, it's a little bit of momentum right here. Let me book the battle. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we look at URL a little bit, and I feel like You got to pounce on battles when they are in the making, and that doesn't happen, which brings me to Ace Amin and Jay Moore. Ace Amin is a URL artist. Jay Moore was a guy on, like a year ago, Jay Moore was on the Crucible list. I remember I had a conversation with P, and P told me, I was like, yo, how you feel about Jay Moore being on Crucible and also being on Trenches? And he said, we're going to let Jay Moore battle on Trenches. He hasn't quite graduated the Crucible process yet. This is when he was early in the Crucible process. So until he signs with URL, if he signs, we're not going to mess with the battle. But the point I was trying to tell, the point I was making is Jay Moore ain't a Crucible nigga, bro. Like, Jay Moore got talent. He's been around for a while. Like, stop putting niggas in the Crucible that are above the Crucible. So Jay Moore, in my opinion, should have just been a guy that was already on the URL roster, because he's already been a marketing kind of guy. Bloggers are following Jay Moore, and pretty much covering him. Even on small leagues, they're still covering who Jay Moore is. You know what I'm saying? And Jay Moore has managed, whether it's been through drama or whatever, he's managed to kind of get some type of buzz in this culture. Ace Amin is your artist. Instead of putting Jay Moore through the Crucible process and graduate, just book Jay Moore and Ace Amin on URL. App only battle. It would have been fire. There was some energy there. There was an apology made. Make the battle happen. Instead, Eazy's making a battle happen, which I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Danny Myers and King, I love this battle. It's fire. King is fire to me. Just battle Cortez. Danny Myers is fire to me. No more to say. This could be battle of the night, or one of the battles of the night. Riggs and Jay Murder. This is another battle I like too. I like Riggs, Jay Murder. They kind of on the same playing field in terms of talent level. And, I just like what they do. I think it's another dope match. I'm glad Riggs is getting another thing. You know, Riggs battled Bad News today. Riggs versus Bad News is going down right now in North Carolina. And I heard Bad News is pulling up to the battle and doing a battle. So it's going down. Riggs is a blood. Bad News is the GD. We'll see if he address any of the snitch stuff. Because you know what Bad News said. The next nigga that said something about the snitch thing, it ain't gonna be no battle. We finna see. So Riggs, I ain't gonna lie. If you a North Carolina nigga and a gang member and don't address the snitch stuff, like, you should be able to address it even more than Av. That's damn near automatic L, bro. I gotta keep it real with you. Like, I don't know how you gonna win the battle. Dre Majesty and Presidential Dub. Shout out to Dre Majesty. Fire. One of the better new niggas, you know what I'm saying? Better new niggas in battle rap, and Presidential Dubs does his thing. This whole entire card is fire. I feel like this card on the same level as Chilla Jones' card without the names, because sometimes that raw environment and that feel is dope. And in an interesting way, Eazy has booked a lot of the niggas that came off the card before. You know, before he booked Truffaut, before he booked Swamp, before he booked Danny Myers. All them niggas came off the card, you know what I'm saying? And now they back on the card. So that just lets you know, man, niggas are just, unless they're going to pull some bullshit at the last minute or whatever, niggas just taking their own career in their own hands and doing their thing. So I think it's actually dope. And I think at the end of the day, Trenches is becoming a viable ass league. As long as Eazy can strategically main event these cards, they're going to get covered. Eazy, the block captain, is covered like a fucking mega star in battle rap. He's covered by all the bloggers. People do prediction blogs. I saw Angry Fan do a prediction blog. I saw Vada do a prediction blog or do a blog on it. Everybody don't have a flyer drop and they get a blog about it. Eazy is one of those guys because, and his pay-per-views are supported. So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, bro, in a roundabout way. When your card is covered like a major card, like when this battle happens May 4th, people will recap this entire event. They'll probably have some commentary and stuff. This event will be covered like it's a big pay-per-view event, because Eazy and Swamp is a big battle in this culture. It's a grudge match. You got the whole the boss angle and all this kind of stuff, and him saying I'd never battle, you know, Swamp saying he didn't want to battle Eazy. It's a lot going there with that battle, so it has a lot of energy. Then you add Ace Amin and Jay Moore, there's energy there. So the thing is, it's gonna get covered like a major event. You flip that when battlers see wow, Easy's having a card that's getting covered like crazy. And look how much attention King is getting. Riggs is getting. Riggs, you got to take advantage, bro. You got Bad News and Jay Murder on a decent card. You kind of can get your buzz right back with 2 big battles. Asa Mean, Jay Moore, Rosenberg, Raw. He gonna battle and podcast about it later on. It's a lot of attention. When you over here on URL, even though URL is the bigger league, bro, if you're just battling and going to the app and it's not being talked about enough, that's how Eazy kind of still wins in a way. Because it's a YouTube release, it's a pay-per-view. URL ain't even doing pay-per-views really right now. You know, I don't know what's going on. They buying footage, but I don't know. I did hear Gnome is being booked. So I think Gnome is on the way. But so I don't know if you on the outside looking in, you want about who don't want to battle in the trenches, bro. It's one of the hottest leagues in battle rap. If we keep it real, which brings me to this space I just listened to, this clip where he was recruiting Capo. Check this out.
In that bracket type shit, but I think that you and a text battle should happen, and I ain't gonna lie, pray for my enemies would have been perfect. And you mean hit my inbox though, call my phone, Capo. You mean we can see if we can still get this done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we got 6 weeks. I know you could be prepared in 6 weeks.
At this point, Capo can say, "Man, I'm URL. I ain't battling on trenches. URL for life." Listen what he say.
I ain't nothing. Yeah, say, look, I'm about to hit you.
Man, no, you could be prepared in 6 weeks. I think this the perfect call for Capo and Tech. This to turn this shit up for real. Yeah.
The nigga said, "I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna DM. I'm gonna hit you." Obviously, URL ain't gonna let you go over there and battle no text. But I don't know. I mean, they should let you go over there. It don't really matter, man. You go over there. You just the more. See, this is the thing. The more you increase your buzz, you still bring the energy back to URL. So none of that stuff matters. But people want to battle on trenches because trenches is covered like it's covered like a major pay-per-view. So if Capo was able to get over there and battle Tex with all the stuff that went on with Tex, it's a good look. It's a good look. It's coverage. Because Capo been battling. Just ain't nobody been talking about it. He battled Jazz. He didn't battle Arsenal. He didn't battle Suge. Ain't nobody recapping it. Let him battle Tex. Watch people talk about it. They'll talk about it when they recap the whole event. Like, yo, I checked out this Capo battle. He went crazy versus Tex. Like, they'll talk about it. He's on the Chilla Jones card versus Snake Eyes. Him and Snake Eyes was going crazy on him in the space. I'm going to talk about that battle because Snake Eyes made me interested in the battle. Capo is going to get a YouTube release and he going to get a blog and get talked about. So shout out to Eazy, man. I just definitely feel like this is a fire card. You know what I'm saying? Going down May 4th and the battles are dope. The battles are definitely dope. And we'll come back and do a prediction blog later. But let me know your thoughts. Chris Unbiased. Holla at your boy.